Hello, hello, welcome to another Facebook edition. I have to start learning a new introduction. Help me out. I keep saying welcome to another Facebook edition. Hello, Facebook. Same introduction all the time. So if somebody can just help me maybe say something different for my future videos, that would be very much appreciated, and that will help me also, to change things up. But regardless of that, I am back tonight. Really excited for everyone who is joining. And tonight's topic, I actually posted a poll very last minute to see what should we talk about tonight. And overwhelmingly, 67% so far of the votes that came in chose judging others. So looks to be that this is a very, very hot topic. Everybody wants to hear about how do we avoid judgment. Why is it that judgment is so high on the list of things that people as a whole, me, you, everybody should work on? And I really was happy in a way that the answer to the poll was judging others. I was actually very excited because I have two, not one, but two very, very powerful stories. And I don't have to say anything on today's live. I can just share these two stories. And in itself, I think the message is going to be clear, because you're going to see and understand how sometimes what looks to us to be something like so insignificant, so small, in somebody else's life, it's actually a much bigger picture. Now, if you think this video is going to benefit other people as well, please feel free to share, to tag, to let people know to come and join us, because I know that sometimes I'm not the only one having this issue, but in general, Facebook and the way it works, sometimes we can be going live, we can be doing a video, and for some strange reason, people don't get the notifications and they have no idea that a live is going on. And then they say, I don't see you on anymore. And I say, but I come on. So if you have anybody that you think would be interested, please tag them onto the video or share the video so that other people can know that we're having a live. And in case they want to interact while I'm on live, that's going to help them as well. Before I get started with tonight's live, I cannot say I cannot not say how grateful I am to all of you, every single one of you, for all your beautiful comments, messages. I was so showered with so much support and encouragement. I was so overwhelmed with the amount of messages I was getting. I didn't even have a chance to answer them all. Not only did I get messages on my page, people telling me, we are so happy, we want to support you, please don't stop, continue your videos. Not only was there such an overwhelming response on my own page, I couldn't even believe that we had people in our community on Instagram, on Facebook, making videos and making, Facebook statuses, really supporting and texting me and saying, did you see what I posted? Because I really did it for you. I want you to see that everybody appreciates you. I can't thank you all enough. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate this amazing, amazing community that we all have. So many times we talk about all the negatives and how much people have to work on themselves and how much we have to better ourselves as a community. And then you have something like this happen and you say, but we're such a good community. We're so loving. We're so supporting. How do we know this? Because look at the response. How could we not even think that we're a loving community and a supportive community? If we wouldn't be, we wouldn't be able to respond the way you did. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's start the topic. Judging others. I think a lot of judgment comes when we have expectations. When we expect people to be a certain way, to act a certain way, to say certain things, and they don't do as we please or as we think they need to do, the first thing that comes to our mind is we start to rationalize and to create scenarios that don't even exist. We start to, in our own mind, start thinking of, well, why did this person not look at me a certain way? Why did this person ignore my text message? Why did this person not come to my event when I invited them to my event? I went to all her events and she didn't even come to one of mine. When we start to have those expectations from people, we don't stop and think to ourselves, what is really happening in this person's life? What is this person really, truly going through? Maybe, just maybe, I'm not the main character in this person's mindset. Yes, I want to be important in everybody's brain, we think, right? Yes, they should respond to my text right away because I always respond to her text right away, but we don't stop and think to ourselves, yes, I'm important, but maybe, just maybe, there's something more important going on in this other person's life. And that's why the person didn't have a chance to respond to us. Or when we see a person and they're not smiling the way we expect them to smile, they come in and they're a little bit upset. And then we can think to ourselves, why are they upset? They came to my party. Did you see her face? She wasn't even happy. You see, I knew she's jealous of me. I knew she's not happy for me when something good goes on. And we don't stop and think to ourselves, how do you know why this person is upset? Maybe the person had a huge fight with her husband before she came to your party. Maybe the person had a little car accident on the way there and damaged her car or got a parking ticket. But she won't share that information with you because she doesn't want to ruin your party for you. Maybe, just maybe, a person's life has nothing to do with your life. Maybe we have to give people the benefit of the doubt, the ability to understand that people have their own lives. People have their own struggles. People have their own challenges. Not everyone is out there to hurt us, to get us, to deceive us, to lie to us. Not everybody is out there to think like we think. And not everybody has the mentality that we have. People's understandings are different. And many times when we don't stop and think, how am I judging this person? We really, truly can fail and cause ourselves to sin. So I go to a lot of Chali events, and when I ask people, what is this event for? I realize that people don't just necessarily make events. Let me just put my phone on mute, I'm sorry. People don't just make events because they have a baby shower. That's beautiful. People don't just make events because they have, for example, they're getting married. It's a bridal shower. People don't just make events for happy occasions. There are times when people have to pray for really serious occasions. People have to pray because somebody in their family is very, very sick. People have to pray because somebody in their family is going through a court case. People have to pray because they're getting a severe judgment and they're not sure what the outcome of that judgment is going to be. People have serious issues. We don't know why people behave the way they behave. So who are we to put ourselves as the judge, as the person to make an outcome and a decision of how should I respond to this person's actions? Well, let me see. Next time this happens, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Look at how he's behaving right now. I didn't even realize how serious this can be until recently myself. I had to go through something very serious. I had to go through an experience where one of my family members was very sick. And I thought to myself, here I am, and I have to come out to the world so happy and excited and try to inspire everybody else. But meanwhile, how much inspiration that I yearn for myself. Here I am having to go to an event and make everybody at the event happy and say, yes, your family member is going to be okay. Your family member is going to be fine. Let's all pray. And then you say to yourself, but deep down, I don't even know if my own family member is going to be okay. How do you know what people are really dealing with? How do you know if somebody's not going through a divorce? How do you know if somebody is not going through a problem with their job? How do you know if somebody's not able to get pregnant for many, many years? And they keep telling you, we don't want another kid right now. We just decided right now is not the time. But meanwhile, they are struggling with infertility. We have to stop minding people's business and start focusing on our own business. Start focusing on our own plate. Look at what's happening in your own life. Unless you are offering somebody positivity, unless you are offering somebody help, a kind word, or something to uplift them, stay away from making people's situation even worse because you added something to make it even harder for them. Now I'm going to share with you two powerful stories. I usually share one. I like to share one at a time. But because this is a very, very important topic, it's a topic that needs to be all of us have to sharpen this topic so much, myself included, because it can really destroy people's lives if we're not careful with what am I saying to this person. Maybe this person is going through so much pain already. Maybe this person is in such a dark place already. Maybe I need to be careful not to tip him and make him even more dark, even more depressed, even more nervous. If we're not careful with that, we can cause tremendous damages in people's lives. While I'm going to share my story, please have your comments coming in because I will read the comments at the end, and I always enjoy reading your comments. So get your comments coming while I say the story. Story number one goes as follows. There was once a man who had a very, very sick child, a very young boy. He was around 7 or 8 years old. And the doctors told this man that his son has to go through a very, very serious procedure. This procedure is going to take hours. And there's only one doctor in the hospital that knows how to do the surgery. The day of the surgery came, and it was time for this father to take his young child into the hospital. It was so difficult, so hard. How can a parent take their child and not worry about their child? The father came to the hospital exactly at the time that he was told to come in and was anxiously praying and waiting for the doctor to come and take this child into the operating room. He's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. An hour after he came, the doctor finally shows up. The doctor apologizes to the father, takes his son to the operating room and says, "Sir, don't worry. Your son is in good hands. I'll be okay with him. Keep praying. We're going to be out very soon." The father is so upset. How can this doctor come late? Is she not professional enough? The boy goes into the surgery. Few hours, long hours, the longest hours this father has ever had to go through. Few long hours later, the boy finally completes the surgery. The nurse and the doctor come out. They tell the father, the doctor tells the father, your son is okay. Everything is fine. The nurse is going to give you the orders right now. I have to go. I'm sorry. And she runs out of the hospital. The father, now very annoyed, looks at the nurse and says, who is this doctor? Who gave her her license? She needs to be trained. She needs somebody from the administration to talk to her. She has no remorse, no ethical values. I'm a father who brought my child so sick, and she just tells me the surgery is done and runs away? I need to talk to the higher ups. The nurse listens to what this father says, and she couldn't hold it in anymore. And she says to this man, I'm sorry, sir. I know you're very upset. I wish I didn't have to tell you this. But this morning, before the doctor knew about your surgery, she found out that you have a scheduled case. But unfortunately, her own son passed away this morning. And she was the only one in the entire hospital who knows how to do this surgery. And she said, if I don't come and do the surgery, maybe another father and mother will lose their own child. She came to do the procedure, and right now she went to bury her own child. And you're calling her insensitive? How dare you, sir? I know it's difficult for you, but this doctor is already going through so much. She came to save your son's life, but already lost her own son that she will bury right now. Comes to show, this father thought the doctor was not sensitive. This father thought, how dare she comes late? How dare she runs away early? Not knowing the full picture, not knowing, no, she's actually even a better person because she has so much in her own heart, so much pain herself, but yet she came to help another person. That is story number one, to demonstrate the power of not judging other people. Story number two is just as heartfelt. The second story was published in Zhenski Mir in 2011, I believe. And my mother read it to me in Russian. And after she read it to me, I heard it so many times, and every time I hear it, it really truly makes me feel so like, not sad, but like it makes you think about the things that we do without taking an extra second to say, why did I overreact? Many times we do things because we overreact. We get emotional. We instinctually want to solve the situation. We don't say, you know what? Maybe today is not the right time. Maybe today I should let the situation rest. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to address it. And tomorrow I'm not going to be so upset and angry and just reflexive. I'm going to be able to think clearly and act with my intelligence rather than act with my emotions. And I'm guilty of that. I'm sure other people are guilty of that. It's something that is amazing to work on, to just not react right away. Think about it. Process what's happening. And then when you react later, you won't even have to judge many times, because by itself, the situation is going to be making clear. Like you were just about to text somebody, just about to tell somebody off, and then you waited. You didn't do that. And then the next day you realize, oh my God, this person didn't have their phone on them. The child took the phone to school. Oh my God, they didn't even get my message. Oh my goodness, I was the one who was at fault. It starts to make sense, and we avoid unnecessary problems in our relationships. The next story is as follows. There was a couple who couldn't have children for many years. About 7 years, this couple was childless. So they decided, what are they going to do? they're going to adopt for themselves a little baby dog, a puppy. So they go to the store, they go to the breeder, and they take for themselves a baby, a puppy, a German Shepherd. And they start to care for this German Shepherd like it's their own little child. They give this little German Shepherd so much love, attention. They take him out a few times a day. They buy him toys. They give him showers and hugs. This little puppy became the child they never had. And after going from doctor to doctor, miraculously, after the 7th year, this wife from the couple gets pregnant. And it was the happiest day of their life to find out that they're finally going to have the baby that they were waiting to have for so many years. While she's pregnant, they still take care of this dog, and the dog takes care of their house. The dog protects them from the strangers. The dog makes sure that they're always happy and excited every time the couple comes home. The dog and the couple were inseparable. But finally, after 9 months, she gives birth to her child. And after she gives birth to her child, the couple's life completely changes around. All the love that they once showered this dog with, they start to shower their baby with. All the attention that they once gave this dog is now given to this baby, to their child, their child that they waited for so many years. But as they're loving and caressing and playing with the baby, this poor German Shepherd, this poor dog, is feeling so lonely and left out. The dog starts to feel sad because he misses his owners. He misses the love and affection they once gave him. But of course, a dog is such a преданный, as they say in Russian. It's an animal which is always going to be loyal to his owners. So the dog continues to care for them, continues to watch over their house. Few months later, as the baby grew up, the baby was becoming big and cute and adorable, and the family was so happy and showered with blessings. One day they put this baby to sleep on the crib, and they decided to make a barbecue. They invited a lot of friends, and they were outside in the backyard making the barbecue while this baby was sleeping in the crib. And after a few hours, it's been very quiet. The father decides to go check on the baby to see what's happening. And as he's coming into the house, he sees his German Shepherd coming towards him, licking his mouth. And the father notices that there was blood all over the dog's mouth. The father thinks to himself, what in the world happened? Did he just kill my baby? The father runs to the cabinet, takes out the gun, and shoots his dog. The dog dies instantly. The father runs to check the baby in the crib. How dare this dog hurt my baby? But when he goes to the room, he sees the baby is sleeping peacefully. And right by the baby's crib is a snake who was headless. The dog saw that the snake was going to hurt the baby, and the dog attacked the snake and killed him. The dog came out to his owner, happy, with the blood around his mouth, thinking he did the best thing ever. But the owner thought the dog killed his child. And when the man saw what really happened, he went to the ground and started to cry and started to scream, my poor, loyal dog, you have been good to me all these years. You have been there for me when no one else has. And even today, again, you protected me. But I overreacted and I killed you for no reason. But at that moment, it was too late. He lost his long-loved partner. He lost that one loyal animal who's been there for him all his life. For what? For the fact that he simply overreacted. He didn't see the full picture. How many of us are guilty of the same thing. We overreact. We judge. We don't know the full story. We don't even want to hear the full story, because at the end of the day, we create another story, a story that revolves around us, a story that revolves around me. I'm important. It's my understanding. It's what's good for me and only for me. And we forget the world around you is not necessarily living your life. The world around you has people there with their own challenges, their own understandings, their own upbringings, their own missions. We have to stop addressing people without knowing the full story. We have to learn how to be more loving, more caring, more understanding, patient. And if we want to say something to somebody, because many times, I didn't think I was going to say this, but I'm going to say it only because it fits in. After I shared my anonymous posts, guess what? Anonymous decides to come back to me, opening a fake account, and starts again, coming after me over and over and over. And I thought to myself, I thought this was supposed to be over. I'm not interested in any more anonymous questions today. Why is this person not leaving me alone? And then Anonymous was telling me, no, you see, you misunderstood. I tried to help you. I tried to explain to you what's right and what's wrong, but you don't want to understand. And you know what my response was? I said, there is a way to tell somebody something. Maybe if you came to me with a loving place, and you came to me with a place of, I care about you. I really want this to be good for your benefit. Maybe I would have listened from a different perspective. Maybe I would have been more open-minded and not take things the wrong way, as the Anonymous told me. But when you come to somebody attacking them verbally, emotionally, physically, in whichever situation you may be. This was my situation. Not everybody lives with doing social media, but you want people to listen to you. You want people to understand you. You want people to hear you. You need to learn how to talk from a place of love. You need to learn how to talk with a place of empathy. Learn how to talk with a place of, let me remove the judgment out of this equation. When I take the judgment part out of this equation and I stop thinking for you why you're doing what you're doing, and I allow myself to hear from you why you're doing what you're doing, and then there's going to be, let me now give you my thought process. People are going to be willing to listen to you because you came to them with a place of, I'm not criticizing, I'm not judging, I'm not hating, I'm simply looking out for your benefit. But when we come to people, whether you're a mother-in-law, a brother-in-law, a sister-in-law, whatever relationship you have, and I'm only touching in-laws because I know that there were people that also wanted me to address in-laws, and I'm not going to do a show on that tonight at least. But if you're coming from a place of, my mother-in-law is mean, or my daughter-in-law is not respectful, or whatever your situation may be, why don't you take a step back and ask yourself, but why? Why is that relationship not working out? It's not possible that, a lot of us think we're perfect, but we're so perfect. No, like a mother-in-law would think, why doesn't she disrespect me? I do everything. I'm doing more for her than my mother-in-law did for me. Or a daughter-in-law may think the same way. I'm so good to her and she doesn't respect me. Right. But maybe instead of judging why people do what they do, and of course, this is not for everybody. This is for some people to hear this, because some people, maybe this doesn't relate to you. Maybe you're so perfect. But for the others that this may be relatable to, sometimes we have to take a step back and think to ourselves, why are they acting the way they are acting? Do I have a place where I could say, this is maybe partially my fault too? Maybe I'm busy judging them for being horrible to me, for not respecting me, for not, treating me like their daughter or their mother. Maybe it's me. I gotta go look at myself in the mirror and evaluate myself first. And then when I'm a better person, everybody around me will become better. Many times we want this person and this person and this person and this person to change, but one person has to change first sometimes. You, me, one person. When you change, you make that decision to change, because you can't change other people. All of a sudden, everybody around you is a better person. Sometimes, what is it that you want to change? Your perception. How are you perceiving what's going on? Your attitude you may want to change. Maybe you're oversensitive. You overreact. You take things close to heart. And you say to yourself, you know what? I'm not going to be this sensitive. I'm going to have to work on myself. Maybe I'm so sensitive that the person is not even trying to hurt me, but every behavior is hurting me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I have to stop with the blame. It's her fault. It's her fault. It's her fault. I have a miserable marriage. Why? It's my mother-in-law's fault. My husband's not making enough money. Why? It's my mother-in-law's fault. My kids, they're not going to the best school. Why? It's my mother-in-law's fault. And then we have the other side of the story. You know why my son is miserable? It's my daughter-in-law's fault. You know why my son has no luck in any job? 100 jobs he went through. Because of his wife. It's my daughter-in-law's fault. Look at my grandkids. They don't have an education. Look at how they have no discipline. Whose fault is that? It's my daughter-in-law's fault. Why? Why do we play the blame game? Everything is happening because of her, of her, of her, of her, of her. Maybe it's not of her. Maybe it's of me. Something is wrong, maybe with the way I raised my son. Something is wrong, maybe with the way my mother raised me, with the way I'm supposed to respect my elderly. We can always take that scenario and that picture and say, let me first look within myself and say, maybe there's something I could tweak, something I could change first in me, and then somehow miraculously, and it works, it truly works, all of a sudden we have less problems with the people around us. We're less sensitive, we're less upset, our expectations go down. We're not expecting people to come an hour early to help, or we're not expecting people to not show up and not help. We just don't care. We go with the flow. If they come and help. If they stay to clean, they stay to clean. We're not going to expect. And if I do it all the time for them and they don't do it for me, you know what? I'm going to do it for them because I choose to do it for them. I'm not doing it for them because I want to make sure tomorrow they're going to make sure to do it for me. So if you're doing it from a genuine heart, then you're not going to expect. You're going to be less judgy, and we're going to be a happier world, all of us, me, you, everybody, all together. I know the comments are coming in. Let me start reading some comments. Okay. Esther, what happened to people being their own worst critic? Well, that's what I just said. People should be their own worst critic. They should, in a way. Okay, there's a difference. You shouldn't be your own worst critic to the point where you're sitting there constantly, I'm bad, it's always me, look at me, I'm not good enough, I'm always messing up. Not to the point where it's dragging you down and you're feeling depressed over it. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying sit there and blame yourself for everything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's actually rewarding. It's a rewarding feeling to say, you know, I really want to work on my gossip. I really think I gossip a lot. I'm going to make that, like, that's my new thing. I really want to work on it. It's actually rewarding, because if you don't gossip that day and you tell people, listen, I'm so sorry, I gotta go, I'm busy, when somebody's gossiping to you and you did that, it's like, wow, look at me, I'm good, it worked. And you feel empowered. You could take any character trait. If you start to say, I think I want to work on this because it's causing me problems for no reason with people, let me work on it. It's rewarding, not dragging. But a person has to first admit it. If you don't acknowledge something, you can't change it. So you can't change what you don't acknowledge. But some people, unfortunately, don't ever want to acknowledge that there's something wrong with them. Do you know where it comes from? The ego. The ego in some people is not allowing them to ever say, maybe it's me. Because the ego says, it's never you. It's never you. You're Mr. Perfect. You're Mrs. Angel. What did you do wrong? It's never you. So ego is actually something also to work on, but that's a different topic. Okay, let's see. Let's see the comments. I don't know, my phone, when I read comments, it doesn't give me all the comments. And then when I go back, when the live is over, and I'm trying to say, oh man, I saw this comment was on live. How come I didn't see this? It's not that I'm ignoring your comments. I literally can't see it for some reason until I go off the live, and then I'm able to see it for whatever reason. So some I see and some I don't see. So keep it coming. Let me see. Milana, she wrote, I don't understand where people have time to stick their nose into someone else's life. Well, first of all, Milana, hello. Really nice to see you join me. How people have time. You know, actually, it's entertaining for some people to be in somebody else's business. Some people like drama. Drama keeps them going. It's fun. It's exciting. If you have nothing going on in your life, it's boring. It's boring. What do? You get up, you go to work, you take care of your children, you take care of your husband, same old routine. It's boring. How much can you watch soap operas? So when you create a soap opera of your own, that's pretty exciting. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you going. So unfortunately, some people, because they love drama so much and they enjoy it, anytime there's nothing going on, they have to now create a scenario and a story and a situation to keep themselves occupied. So yes, in some people, they have a lot of time for that. It's what gives them, it's a drive. It's exciting. Okay, let's see. I can't see. Thank you, Ella. The story gave you chills. I know, crazy stories. So for anybody that just joined us and didn't hear the stories I shared, really, Margarita, you like the story too. I see these stories were powerful stories, worth listening. Okay, let's see. Bella, это говорит о том, что никогда не нужно заставлять людей быть религиозными, пока они сами к этому не придут. I agree with you, because you see, this is the thing. We can't also ignore. Let me explain this. There's a fine line, okay? I don't want to come across without being clear. We're taught, at least we're taught in yeshiva when I was in school, Kol Yisrael arivim ze lazeh. I think that's how the Chazal, the quote goes, which means all of us Jews, Jewish people, community, are responsible for one another, which means we also cannot sit back and say, you know what? Let assimilation take place. Let people mind their own business. Let everybody stop keeping Shabbat. Forget about kashrut. It's not important. Let people steal from each other. Forget about it. Let them worry about their own life. It's not important. We got to only work about ourselves. That's also not okay, because If we all forget completely about what's happening with each other and we don't even care and we say, forget it, let them live their own life, destruction is gonna happen. So we can't, as a society, as a community, say, well, let's completely forget about it. We can't, because the prophets are telling us every single person is responsible for the actions, which means the sins of another person. So if the community as a whole is sinning, somebody, a leader, a rabbi, some sort of a, like Moshe we had, right? He got the Torah from Har Sinai. Somebody has to put an end, because if not, God gets very upset. This is a big problem. So we should never completely close our eyes and say, let everybody sin and do whatever they want. Absolutely not. But there's a fine line. We also cannot be judges and say, well, it's my job to fix you. Well, you can't fix this individual person like a you. Why you? How are you and me connected? You can care about everybody as a community, as a whole, including, let's say, me or somebody else, and come and help and give ideas and love and guidance. Absolutely. But just like it is a sin to not do one Torah commandment, it's also a sin to judge, to be harsh, to gossip. So there's a fine line of, yes, there's a problem. We have to try to help somebody address the problem. We have to motivate people to be more observant, but we also cannot, in the process, mess up our own other rules that are there because we're trying to correct other people. So again, I know the people who are watching might come to me and say, well, how are you better? You're also doing something wrong now. So there's a fine line. We can't please everybody, right? We can't please everybody, but we do our best. We do our best. We work, we pray, and then we leave the rest up to God. When you do the best you can do, and again, best we can do, we could say, well, I'm doing the best I can do, and never decide to cover your hair. For example, I'm not judging you. No, you want to get to that point. Cover your hair, keep kashrut, send your kids to yeshiva, keep Shabbat. Right? I'm talking to everybody. So then we want to become a better version of ourselves. But nobody can come and say, you are not covering your hair, you're not covering Shabbat, well, you're a terrible person. No, because you are not the judge of this person. This person has to get there one day. You need to be a role model and inspire them, help them. Invite them to your house for Shabbat one day, maybe, right? Maybe give them something delicious, a challah, to inspire them to bake challah. We have to inspire people, not turn them off. So that's the difference. Thank you for that, Bella. I thought that was important. Svetlana says there's a way to speak to people. I agree with that 100%. There is definitely a way to speak to people. Esther, I appreciate you. She says there was no love or light or support. Don't even go there. It's manipulative person. Don't entertain the anonymous anymore. No, 100%. I actually blocked it. I'm absolutely not even gonna, I don't even want to bring it up. You're 100% right. When people are doing toxic things, we have to also say, hey, hold on. What point do we put an end? So this was pretty toxic. So I had to say no more. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh wait, is there anywhere else? Angela Ilyach. That's why we have to change ourselves and show how to do something. When they see it's working, they start doing it themselves. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We have to inspire one another. We have to be a role model for one another, right? Like how many people do we have in our community that do cooking videos, and everybody does it in their own way. Some people will involve their children, other people will be dancing and doing it, other people have, you know, a different way of doing it. And you know what, those people that never wanted to cook for Shabbat, for example, they will watch this video and say, wow, you know what, I want to go into my kitchen right now, maybe I want to make something for Shabbat because this is inspiring me to do it. So with our actions, we are by accident, not even by accident, we are now creating a positive change. So just like everybody here who's watching, wait, before I say that's where the phone calls need to be forwarded, Samira, forwarded in like what sense? Like you don't answer the phone call? Is that what you mean? Because I couldn't understand what that meant. But I was saying before, just like everybody here, and again, I started the video this way and I'm going to be ending it this way just in case somebody didn't hear. Everybody's love, support, comments, feedback was so special for me. I don't even know how to thank you all enough. It's not like I posted it because I expected anybody. I didn't do it because I was looking for attention. No. I did it simply because I was kind of upset and I wanted to really see, are people thinking this way? If they're thinking this way and I'm seeing that there's a trend and there's a pattern, then maybe it is time to rethink what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not really helping. Maybe I'm really, you know, sinning. So this is why I shared it, right? This was the real reason. Because remember, it's very hard for people to share negativity. Most people, when somebody criticizes them, what's the first reaction? You want to shut it down, right? You don't want anybody to see. Like if your boss yells at you at your work, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh my God, I hope nobody heard that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Criticism is embarrassing. Nobody wants to be criticized. So the first thing people do when they get some kind of a clapback or negativity is they want to suppress it. They want to shut it down. Nobody should see it. You had a fight with your husband. You don't want the whole world to know. You don't want to go and just tell, you know, like random people, you know, my husband yelled at me yesterday. It's embarrassing. So negativity and criticism is something people want to hide because of shame. So when I got these messages, you know, it would be easy for people to think, well, why would you want to share that? That's kind of negative. That's kind of insulting. But I actually chose to share it. Unlike what Anonymous thought. Anonymous thought I'm sharing it because I'm trying to get validation, approval, clapping, which I'm really not, because I don't do social media because I'm bored and I'm looking for attention. Social media takes a lot of time for my personal life. Like right now around me, I have to wash some dishes, put away some shopping, right? I have a Hali event coming up tomorrow. I have to actually prepare for. So social media takes time away, like this 1 hour that I'm dedicating to you guys, and I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. It's taking away that 1 hour that I have to do for my work at home, for my family's work. So now what people don't realize is when I'm getting messages like this, the reason I share it is, hold on a second, I'm thinking to myself, is this really what most people are thinking? So I only shared it in a way of saying to myself, to my head, should this stop? Because if in reality, most people feel this way, then maybe what I thought in my mind was something good was really not something good. And based on the feedback I'm going to get, even though it's pretty embarrassing to share, I'm going to make a decision. Maybe God doesn't like this and he wants me to stop. But when I did share it and I saw, wow, people support, and they're like, don't stop, continue, do it more. It was like, I am so touched. It would be okay either way. If I didn't get that, I would say, okay, time to move on, time to do something else. I maybe have to go to more synagogues. Maybe I don't have to do social media anymore. I'm going to have to leave my house to do this. There would be other ways to do my mission, which is inspire and talk. But at the same time, I said, If I get a very good positive feedback, then I'm going to continue making time, because I have to make time. First of all, you have to create a topic, okay? You have to make sure you don't sound dumb when you're on Facebook, because this is a live. There is no editing. There is no, oops, why did I just say this? It doesn't work like that. You're alive. You're just going. There can be, anything can happen. You got to prepare something interesting, because imagine you say something. You know what can also happen? People may be like, who is this fool? What are they talking about? Sometimes you can embarrass yourself. So this is not all glamorous as people think, like, oh, Facebook, of course, they're looking for attention. Yeah, you can get a lot of negative attention too if you make a clown out of yourself. So it comes with the good, the bad, and the ugly. So my point to what I was saying is, I was so truly humbled and inspired, especially when people started making videos and tagging me. And I was like, what is happening here? Oh my goodness. This is the reason I'm doing it, and I'm continuing to do it, because of people like you who are supporting, who are appreciating, who are commenting, who are sharing, who are spreading. It makes the time that I have to dedicate. It makes the effort that I have to put into these videos. Like I told you before, you don't know what people are going through. You really don't know what people are going through. Be careful and sensitive with what you share, write, and post. Because what you see on camera, not just with me, with anybody, what you see on camera, somebody puts a picture of themselves, right? A selfie. And you're like, what the heck are they thinking? What an ugly picture. Why would somebody put that? Maybe this person is lacking so love. Nobody tells her how pretty she is. Her husband never compliments her. Not that she should do that, period. I'm not judging, but I'm saying for those that are already doing it, put that like, put that heart, put that little emoji saying you're beautiful. Do that for each other. What is it going to take from you to go and put a little like or heart when you see somebody is waiting to feel loved? When you see somebody put a nice post, they took 3 minutes of their time to write it. You know they created it. How long is it going to take you to just put a little like, a heart, a love, some emoji? You don't know how much you might be changing this person's day. Maybe this person had such a rough day, such a horrible day. We shouldn't come to social media for it. Absolutely not. But we are in 2023. Unfortunately, we talk more to our phone than we talk to each other. We're texting, Instagram, social media, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever else there is. We're more on the phone. So of course, we're not going to now call our friend and say, I'm not really feeling so well. I'm feeling so down. What are we going to do? We're going to find a little quote, right? Not everybody. I'm saying some people, they put it on their page. They make a little video. They make a little bit of a picture or whatever. And then they sit there, sometimes some people, and want to be validated, want to be accepted, want to be complimented, want to feel that they have a purpose. And then they sit there like weirdos and saying, oh my God, I only got 1 like in 10 hours. And they feel embarrassed that they even put it, and they feel even worse. Now they went from feeling crushed here all the way here. And nobody should be validated. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, to go to social media to get attention. But unfortunately, because we're living in a world where this is the reality, you can like it, you don't have to like it. You can think it's petty, you can think it's dumb, you can think it's crazy. But this is the reality of what is happening. We need to be more sensitive. Give that like, give that heart, give that smiley face. Say happy birthday when you see a post. Support each other when you can. Maybe if that person got 60 likes and they never got more than 10, wow, how important they're going to feel. Wow, how smart they're going to feel that they found that little post that said something nice. Wow, how loved they're going to feel when they see 150 people wish them a happy birthday. You may be actually giving this person therapy without even knowing it. Why? because you took a half a second out of your life to just put a like there, to just put a heart there, to just put a thumbs up sign there, to just put a smiley face emoji there. It doesn't take time to do that. A second, you're already scrolling. Don't ignore people. Validate people, because you don't know what they're going through. You're so busy judging them, saying, what are they doing? What kind of post is this? Oh, I think I know why. She probably had a fight with her husband, so this is why she put this quote. Who are you to make that decision that she had a fight with her husband? How do you know she had a fight with her husband? Maybe she had a fight with her cat. Who knows? We are not judges. You saw a nice quote, rather than trying to, in your heart and mind, figure out why and call your friend and say, you know why Mrs. So-and-so put that quote? I think I know why, because she told me she had a problem. She probably getting a divorce. Don't create stories and scenarios that don't exist. Just be a nice, kind person, like, heart, you're amazing, this is so true, you're beautiful. Keep moving, and guess what? You did a mitzvah. Actually, you did a good thing. Why? Because you made a person feel special. You gave them a reason to smile. You gave them a reason to say, I'm important. Maybe nobody does that to this person. So don't contribute to negativity. Somebody's being bashed. Don't take part in those posts. Stay away. Stay away. You don't even know the sins you're getting when you're going to be part of a post of, let's say, a particular person is going to get bashed. I by accident almost was involved in that. I deleted my posts really quickly. Really quickly. I didn't want to be part of this, because by accident you can be a part of it. You see something negative, don't be involved. Stay away. You see something positive, something good, something helpful, be involved. Support. Why? With your support, more good is going to come out. More uplifting stuff is going to come out. So I hope this was a helpful live. Of course, I detoured from my original topic. And of course, every time I go live, I say to myself, this is going to be 15 minutes, because people say, can you make them shorter so we can actually watch, because they're so long? I don't know. Lately, they're too long. I get it, but I enjoy it. I really enjoy what I'm doing, and maybe that's why it stays this long. But I want to read one comment before I go, because I saw it before, and I want to give this person the attention he deserves. Val Pinchasov. I'm happy to see a tzaddiket. I'm very, very honored that you called me that. I'm not correcting you, but I have to say the truth. I'm not a tzaddiket. I have a lot of things I work on, just like you, just like everybody else. I am merely a speaker. I am a speaker. I enjoy speaking, so thank you for that. I am happy to see a tzaddiket trying to open up the eyes of our community. We all know the truth deep inside, but it's nice to hear it out loud. Val, I want to tell you, thank you so much. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate the fact that you took a few minutes of your time and you gave that comment. It means a lot to me to see such uplifting encouragement. So thank you very much. I'm actually happy to see that this is helpful for everybody. Thank you. Olga. Hi, Yocheved. Please don't give up. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much, Olga. I appreciate that very much. Eleonora, you're the best inspiration for our community. Continue to do what you're doing. Thank you so much. I see all these beautiful messages. I'm kind of like shy and embarrassed to read them. I mean, I know you're watching and this is really for me, but you guys took the time to write it. It's so special. Thank you. I want to just read it while I'm on live. Okay. Rochelle, 100% золотые слова. Thank you so much. Angela Bella, never thought of it this way. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Anything else? I'm sure there is. I'm just missing them. Okay. So, good night, everybody. Wishing you all a happy, good Shabbat. Blessings. Whatever it is that you're undertaking, you should have success in it. And yes, the other topics, such as everything Hashem does is for the best. prayer, and everything else are just as important to talk about. I am glad that we spoke about judging today, and I'm hoping with God's help, I'm going to be able to cover the other topics in the near future. So thank you to all of you. Once again, have a wonderful night. If you found this video to be helpful, please share it with others. Have a good night. Bye-bye.